Alexander the Great, also known as Alexander the Third of Macedon. He was born in 356 BC, so a little over 2,300 years ago. His parents were Philip II of Macedon and Olympias, which was one of Philip's foreign wives. Before Alexander was born, Philip and Olympias both had dreams concerning Alexander. Philip had a dream that Olympias was sleeping with a snake. Yuck. Why would anybody do that? Anyway, Olympias also had a dream that her belly was struck by lightning while she was pregnant with Alexander. Ouch. Both parents believed that Alexander was destined for greatness. Some believe the dreams were a sign that Alexander was semi-divine and was actually fathered by the god Zeus. Some believe that Olympias may have convinced Some believe that Olympias may have convinced Philip that Zeus was the divine father because she had hanky-pankied with another man. Oh no, that's naughty. When Alexander was 13, he chose Aristotle to be his teacher, or his tutor. He learned about philosophy, art, medicine, morals, religion, and logic. Alexander became a fan of Homer's literature, in particular, a copy of the Iliad, which was given to him by Aristotle, which he carried on his military campaigns. He was probably blonde-headed, rather short and stocky, and kept clean-shaven, which was unusual by Macedonian standards. He also had an unusual trait. One eye was very dark brown and the other a very bright blue. Wow, that's pretty, I bet that was neat looking. When Alexander was a young boy, he had a male friend and bodyguard named Hephaestion. It is thought that they had a sexual relationship throughout most of Alexander's life. A scholar at the time said that Alexander was quite excessively keen on boys. It is also recorded that Alexander sexually embraced Bagos, who was his eunuch, in public. For those who don't know, a eunuch is a castrated male. However, we do know that Alexander had multiple wives and at least one mistress that were a part of his life. When Alexander was 20 years old, in about 336 BC, his father Philip was assassinated by one of his guards. As the guard tried to escape, he tripped over a vine and was caught and killed. Get some of that, guard. Alexander took the throne and immediately had a number of his rivals for the throne killed. Olympias, Alexander's mother, also had a number of people killed, including Cleopatra, another of Philip's wives, and Europa, one of Cleopatra's and Philip's daughter. Whoa, talk about a vengeful female. Alexander spent the rest of his life on various military campaigns to conquer and control known areas. During his conquest, after a victory, it was not unusual for him to have all the fighting men killed, and then he would enslave the women and children. He was also known to have killed anyone under his control that he felt was a threat to his ruling power. Man, how about that for diplomacy? Over the years, Alexander conquered vast areas to include Persia, Mesopotamia, Egypt, and India. The conquering of Persia was particularly impressive considering the Persians outnumbered Alexander's army 5-1. In 323 BC, at the age of 32, Alexander died. The most reliable account said that he had partied and drank large amounts of wine over the course of a night and day and then developed a fever. He died after suffering for 14 days. Some suggest that Alexander may have had a number of illnesses ranging from malaria, typhoid fever, or meningitis. Others suspect that he was poisoned. Oh, scandalous. Alexander the Great inspired people such as Napoleon and Caesar, and his tactics are still studied at military academies around the world. Alexander the Great was undefeated in battle and considered one of history's most successful military leaders. Thanks for listening and have a wonderful day.